City volunteers in Jordan distribute donated clothing to students at 7 schools. More than 60 new volunteers attend the training camp hosted by Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Su. Thank you for joining us. The Tzu Chi Jordan chapter has been working with charity organizations in the southern area of Dead Sea to distribute rice and school supplies. This time, a clothing company donated 2 truckloads of clothes. Volunteers helped them to deliver it to students in 7 schools.
The clothing factory, Elite Merchandising Corp, donated 2 trucks of clothes. Through Tzu Chi Jordan chapter, the clothes will be distributed to more than 1,000 students in 7 schools.
You are the only relief organization that you support us here in this poor area. Not only this ones, all over the year.
All of the schools for distribution were located in the southern Dead Sea area, which took volunteers 9 hours to drive for a round trip. The area has basic plantation and stock farming, but the land is considered infertile. Tzu Chi Jordan chapter has worked with local charity organizations for 12 years. In addition to the regular rice distribution for over 1,200 impoverished families, volunteers delivered clothes personally, this time with their best wishes.
The smiling on their faces that tells you how happy they were, all of them, even the teachers, the staff, the families, the parents.
After volunteers deliver the clothes, the local charity organization staff have set up the venue and prepared a vegetarian meal for everyone to dine together. The friendship will continue as the great love will keep on spreading in this land.
Starting from March 1st, Tzu Chi will conduct 3-day free clinics at the Takeo province in Cambodia. Singapore team members have already arrived and begun the preparation.
A team of 36 Singapore Tzu Chi volunteers have arrived at the Phnom Penh International Airport. The volunteers quickly went to the Tzu Chi Cambodia liaison office. At the venue, the volunteers are preparing for the free clinic, which will be conducted in March. On the other side, the volunteers are moving the supplies and equipment onto the truck.
Some equipment was transported from Singapore. The wheelchairs are provided for seniors who have difficulties with walking, to allow them to move around easily.
While checking each tooth extraction tool, Singapore team dentist over here has 27 years of experience in dentistry. He has been participating in many large-scale free clinics for the past 3 years.
Some of the tools are for cavity filling, some are for tooth extraction and teeth cleaning. When I get to the event venue, I need to categorize the tools like this, so when the patients arrive, we don't need to waste time. I can treat them right away.
还好，还有这些志工人真的帮忙。这个是洗牙剂的东西，清洗消毒。
Here, the 2 volunteers know each dental equipment well. For years, they have never been absent at the free clinic events. Both of them took 5 days leave in order to come here and help out.
来了几趟了？这一个第3、4趟了，大概第4趟。每一年只要排。
Every year, if there are free clinics, I will always make myself available. To participate in events like this, helping those in need is truly meaningful. I don't mind taking leave because I believe this is something worth doing.
With the help of Singapore Tzu Chi volunteers, we'll have enough manpower. This will help the event to go well, so I'm at ease.
The free clinic will have 6 medical departments. All of the medical equipment are put inside the big truck. Starting from March 1st, a 3-day large-scale free clinic will be conducted in the Takeo province. 8,000 participants are estimated to join the events. Everyone hopes to provide the best treatments and care for the local residents.
To help the farmers in Myanmar resume their rice cultivation, nearly 400 Tzu Chi volunteers have distributed rice seeds to about 50,000 households. In just 10 days, they've completed the biggest Tzu Chi rice seed distributions. Under the sun, the Thousand Buddha grotto looks quiet and stately, while people are singing the traditional Karen songs. Despite the beautiful scenery of the Keng State, last year's floods have devastated local farmers. As the farmers are in debt, help came to them when it is time for spring cultivation.
8年7、8月间，缅甸豪雨成灾。
2018年 July လနဲ့ဩဂုတ်လတွေ
အခုငါမခွကျွန်တော်တမလောက်တာလမနော်ကြောင့်မို့အတိဝဒကျင်းကြရ
At Tzu Chi's rice seed distribution site, DaAi Master Zheng Yan's letter is translated into 4 languages. Due to its geography and history, there are many ethnic groups in Keng State. However, they're working in harmony now.
Coming to the distribution and seeing how everyone is working in harmony, I'm very happy.
I cannot express my gratitude. It is very helpful for us to receiving rice seeds like these.
Tzu Chi volunteers sing and perform for everyone. It makes me very happy. I also vowed to become a volunteer.
For 10 days, Tzu Chi volunteers distribution route run from Yangon to Bago, then southward to Mon State before heading to Keng State's capital, Pa'an. Nearly 400 volunteers from Taiwan, Malaysia, Jordan, and Myanmar have distributed rice seeds to nearly 50,000 households in 4 provinces, and people reciprocate their assistance. The farmers make donations in rice banks. Despite poor harvests and difficult living conditions, they still want to give to help other less fortunate people. Tzu Chi's rice seed distributions have transcended ethnicities and religions. The volunteers only hope to see the farmers improve their living conditions with good harvests. At Tzu Chi's rice seed distributions in Myanmar, Keng State is the last stop. Since it is near the border between Myanmar and Thailand, the situation is quite unstable. After evaluating safety, Tzu Chi volunteers went over to distribute rice seeds to more than 4,000 households.
These farmers waiting to receive rice seeds happily welcomed Tzu Chi volunteers who spent 8 hours traveling from the capital Yangon to Keng State. Despite the unstable situation near the border between Myanmar and Thailand, volunteers kept their word to the affected residents as they came here once again to distribute rice seeds.
We were very attentive as we went to their village to listen to them and understand their needs. They thought they might not hear any news from Tzu Chi after volunteers returned home. To their surprise, we not only came back and brought supplies to them, but also spread Dharma Master Zheng Yan's teachings to them.
This time, there are more than 4,000 households that need rice seeds. The open space next to the orchard has become the second distribution site. Local farmers have been deeply impressed by volunteers' gestures and attitudes and inspired to join the rice-saving movement.
Before I cook, I would save a handful of rice each day. People in other villages also do this to help other people in need, to make the world a better place.
The farmers' simple lives and kindness also move the volunteers.
It's hard work, but it doesn't matter how hard I have worked. At least I feel I'm able to give without asking for anything in return.
I found this country is actually far behind Malaysia. It is like going back to Malaysia 40 years ago. Since we are people who lead a very fortunate life in Malaysia, we should give more to help the people of this country.
Through the acts of giving, the volunteers and farmers have bonded closely to one another.
The Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter hosted a 3-day training camp for new volunteers. 2 Dharma masters from the Jingsi abode in Hualien also came to deliver their best wishes for more than 60 participants.
The Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter started their 3-day training camp for new volunteers. At 6 in the morning, many came for registration, including the 78-year-old retired teacher.
I hope in the future I can invite more classmates to join this activity.
This participant's mother passed away when she was 100 years old, so he brought her photo to come, hoping to fulfill her last wish.
I feel regret because I did not seize the chance to bring my mom into the Tzu Chi family. That's why I brought her photo to attend, as I hope she can join us.
A Dharma master from Hualien's Jinsi abode also came to introduce Tzu Chi in the first lesson to more than 60 participants.
Everyone came here for the first time, and we want to plant seeds of kindness in them. We have to ensure the quality of the seeds so that they can benefit from Dharma teachings.
The lecture from the Tzu Chi religious office in Taiwan lets everyone learn more about Tzu Chi through Q&A sessions.
Although the Jingsa abode is aligned with the Jingsa Dharma lineage, only the abode can support Tzu Chi, but not Tzu Chi to support the abode. That's why monks usually make vows to support the people of the whole world.
All of the participants have been determined to join Tzu Chi and learn more about Tzu Chi's doctrine, making their life more practical and meaningful.
At the training camp mentioned earlier, one of the class was about environmental protection. Through news and data information, Tzu Chi volunteers wanted to let the participants know more about global warming and vegetarianism.
Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter conducted a workshop for the new volunteers. The director of the Tzu Chi Research and Development Department is there to talk about why people agree with the concept of the environmental protection, but did not take actions on this issue.
Our thoughts and our actions are totally different. As humans, why are we like this? Because we don't want to give up. What's in front of you and your desire, you can't control yourself from wanting them. You knew the consequences of global warming. It's dangerous, but you want to pretend that it doesn't exist since it's not happening at the present.
Mr. Cho also talked about vegetarianism and its cause-effect relationship.
I believe all of us will be reincarnated. You never know what your family members or your beloved ones might turn into in the next lifetime. We might also marry someone from the previous life. Therefore, we must treasure every living being in this life, including animals. If you keep this in your mind, you will realize that vegetarianism has more meaning behind.
I wanted it to influence my friends and other people. In order to do that, I need to do it first. I'm already a vegetarian. The others and my friends were curious about the reasons why I have become a vegetarian, and I will explain the issues of climate change to them.
I told the participants there are 3 things in life that we often miss. First, a good teacher might be right by you, but you didn't follow. Second, when you want to do good deeds but don't know how to. Third, when opportunities came, you didn't seize them in time. I think the new volunteers are very hardworking. I look forward to see them spreading the spirit of great love around.
Tzu Chi volunteers have encouraged these newly volunteers to implement Dharma into daily lives. They believe that the spirit of compassionate giving can be passed down to the new members.
Before the training camp started, the volunteers and the vocational training class students came to clean up the campsite, a renovated building.
Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter will conduct a workshop for the new volunteers. The venue will be held at the renovated building. Therefore, the volunteers and the students of vocational training class are here to do a cleanup. Despite having asthma, the volunteers still came and taught others how to clean up.
If people don't know the correct ways to clean, the dust will still be there and the place will be dirty. So we need to find the right methods in order to clean up the dust in the entire place.
The cleaning task is not easy as it seems. The volunteers have put all of their efforts into their work. From cleaning the ceiling to the floor, everyone worked together, hoping to provide a comfortable environment for the new volunteers. Even the cement right by the windows are scrubbed off.
If you open the window and see the dust, you won't feel comfortable. So I hope when you open the window, everything will be clean.
As one can see, the volunteers never miss a spot. They have cleaned every corner inside the venue.
I think the windows are the most difficult places to clean. There are little rocks starting between the window gaps. The rocks will damage the windows if you close them, so we need to remove them. I'm very grateful for everyone who came to do the cleanup during their Sunday free time. All of us have done a great job. Next week, we will be welcoming the new members into our big Tzu Chi family.
Everyone is excited for the upcoming workshop. They believe that the spirit of compassionate giving can be passed down to the new members.
UN Food and Agriculture Organization statistics show that every second more than 2,000 animals in the world are slaughtered. People need food every day, but the cost to the earth may be very high. Many people wonder how we can eat a diet that is good for our health and also good for the environment.
Food may be given by heaven, but we may be too greedy, as humans may soon need to pay a price for their desires. According to statistics of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, in 2017, the world's 7.5 billion people every second slaughtered more than 2,000 animals. At least 250 million animals per day were killed for human consumption. The industry that raises livestock is dependent on land and water and also produces carbon emissions. This topic has often been discussed.
During the COP24 meeting in Poland, the main goal is to maintain the Paris Climate Agreement signed in 2015. This agreement at the time was just a framework, as it helped to keep the temperature increase below 2 degrees Celsius. We are moving towards 1.5 degrees Celsius, and we have already increased by 1 degree Celsius and another increase by 0.4 degrees Celsius. This is an acceptable temperature. If we reach 2 degrees Celsius, this can be a disaster. And honestly, 1.5 and 2 degrees Celsius only differs by 0.5 degrees Celsius. The cost of this will be paid by future generations.
Climate change and rising temperatures, as well as floods and droughts, aren't just associated with industry and carbon emissions. We all play a role, as this glass of milk is an example.
Through life cycle assessment method, when calculating the production of raw milk to disposal process, we found that the total amount of carbon emissions is about 2.4 kilograms.
A bottle of fresh milk, 930 milliliters from production to delivery, including empty containers that are discarded, have a carbon footprint of 2.4 kilograms. Among this process, producing the milk has the greatest amount of greenhouse gas emissions.
We later discovered in the raw material acquisition stage, and the production process accounts for 91.5% of carbon emissions. This means that raw milk production is the most important part of this process.
The process of raising cows and producing milk requires feeding and washing, which can produce lots of greenhouse gases. This leads many farmers to think about better management to reduce carbon emissions. Also, how can more consumers be more friendly to the earth?
Carbon footprint and water footprint is in fact part of our energy and resource consumption. The more procedures involved, it require resources and energy consumption. We should find a way to make our dining table more friendly to the earth and more friendly to ourselves. It is very important to be balanced and get different foods from our table. We use poor cereals for our staple food. From a national survey, we're now finding that more people are consuming less whole grain food. More are eating beans, eggs, and meat. Food that can be seen on the table are in fact all seasonal ingredients.
Choosing seasonal ingredients is always the best option, as a lunchbox the size of your palm can be filled with fruits and vegetables to be used as a nutritious snack at any time. A balanced diet is also friendly to the planet. In terms of nutrition, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. How should we eat for good health?
Customers say if it's morning, they want to eat a little lighter with more fruits and vegetables. Generally, for breakfast, we offer egg pancake or a sandwich. Many feel that this isn't much of a burden on the body and isn't so heavy. In recent years, our breakfast offerings are starting to include more vegetables.
Actually, going to this breakfast shop, many may be surprised by the fact that vegetarian offerings are becoming more popular.
I would say that 60% of what we sell has meat and 40% is vegetarian. Is this a big increase from the past? Yes, it is.
An interest in vegetarian food is growing, as before, only the people who sold food could witness the sale of vegetables.
It's much different. We thought about the burden on the earth. We should listen to the earth and encourage our guests to eat more fruits and vegetables. This is my opinion.
An old shop with a history of 50 years is now developing a vegetarian menu to give customers more choices and be friendly to the earth. All these decisions start at the table.
What can we do to help the earth? I feel that air quality is important. We should reduce carbon emissions.
How can I help the earth? When going out, we should take public transportation. Always keep a handkerchief with you.
How can we help the earth? We should eat more fruits and vegetables and try to take public transportation as much as possible.
I think we need to make less garbage. I try to encourage everyone as well as myself to use recycled containers and be friendlier to the earth.
I think we should cherish food and not waste any food. I think that this is the most important thing.
People depend upon the heavens for food, and how long this gift will last is something that we all need to think about.
After years of research, DaAi Technology has found ways to turn recycled PET bottles into eco-friendly products. A good example is eco-friendly blankets. Follow our story as we find out how the blankets are made.
Take a guess, a PET bottle and an eco-friendly blanket. How are these two related? How to make the eco-friendly blankets? Here we can see that the PET bottles are shredded and put inside the plastic pelletizer machine to make the recycled polyester chips. After they will be transported to the extruder and coir, where polyester filaments are extruded and woven into environmentally friendly fabrics.
Now the temperature is at 274 degrees. We will wait until it's melted. After, it will be extracted into polyester yarn to make the cloth.
We are grateful for Dharma Master Zhenyan, letting us know that the recycled items can actually be turned into valuable products again.
The width of the eco-friendly blanket is 180 centimeters and the length is 230 centimeters. These blankets have warmed many natural disaster survivors, and the PET bottles that were used to make the blankets comes from here.
We have 13 volunteers. They are 80 years old except for me. I am the youngest. I am 77 years old.
There are about 9,000 recycling stations in Taiwan. The recycling volunteers have worked day in and day out to make all of this happen. As one can see, eco-friendly blankets can let people understand it's possible to give a product a second life.
In the United States, Tzu Chi Chicago Chapter has held a prayer ceremony for the Lunar New Year. At the event, students from Tzu Chi Academy learned about traditional Chinese culture. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.